As somebody who has worked with Power BI for such a long time, there are certain topics which come very casually to me. But at a certain place, you need to understand that there are certain people who are just beginners or even wannabe Power BI experts who may benefit from such casual but very, very important topics. And I'm going to bring you today such topic which is called as the user relationship. Now, I'm going to explain how, when to use user relationship and what is its importance, okay, in this entire video. Now, just let's go into the topic. I don't want to take much of your time with nonsense intros and all. Let's just go. Okay. So I have a model over here and I have been using this AdventureWorks data for my entire YouTube series on Power BI because I want to have a continuity with the data. I don't want my subscribers to get confused with what all data I'm using. So I'm using this particular data continuously. Now if you see, let me go to the table view first and let me show you that there is a table called as the person address. Okay, over here, and there is one more table as the, I think the sales, let me just check once. It's the sales order header. Yes, correct. So this is the fact table and this is the dimension table. Okay, when we come to the model view, and if we see over here, I have made certain other videos regarding relationships, many to many, one to one, etc. You can just go and watch them. I'm not going to go through the relationship again. But over here, if you see, there is an interesting thing over here. There is one table called as the person address and this table called as the sales order header. And if you see, there are two relationships present between these tables. Now, in Power BI, when you talk about modeling, okay, there can be only one active relationship. And that is what Power BI has done over here. It has created one active relationship. The straight line that you see over here is the active relationship, means the present relationship which will work in the filter context, which will work in the flow of Power BI, which will be considered, is this relationship which is between the address ID column and the bill to address ID column, okay, in sales order header, okay. And the other relationship is between address ID and ship to address ID. So do you understand, in the fact table, that is the sales order header, there are two addresses. One is the billing address and the other is the shipping address. One address is responsible to get the billing address, कि कहाँ पे bill भेजना है, and the other address is responsible for the shipping address, that where exactly this parcel or whatever you have bought is actually going to go. Now, generally, if you talk about in the real scenario, these two addresses are actually the same. Only sometimes it will be different, but there is a possibility that they both can be different. Okay, and I will show you this in when we take the data. I'll explain you this data. And over here there is the address ID, okay, of the person. Now, actually these three should be same. Okay, but sometimes they can, this ship to and bill to will change, and that's why we have two relationship between these two tables. One is an active relationship and one is an inactive relationship, the dotted one. So the ship to and the address ID are the inactive relationship. So whenever I actually take in the address ID, it will always be in relationship with the billing address and not the shipping address. Let me show you one very interesting thing, and let's take all these three addresses first. Okay, let's just check this also because I want to go in depth with this topic. I've taken the address ID first, okay, then I will take the bill to address and then I will take the ship to address. Okay, where is the ship to address? This is the ship to address. Okay, I don't want the count, don't summarize. Okay, let's open this now, and if you see over here, actually all the three are same. Okay, if you see over here, you won't find much data that these three are not same. Okay, very few. Let me just change this maybe. Okay, see, can you see this one? 29865, 29865, but now the bill to address is same as the address ID, but you have the ship to address which is different. So it is saying that the billing and the shipping is at different places. Okay, so there can be instances, and when you have millions and billions of rows of data, there can be multiple such instances, and if you are not careful with your filter context, how it is working, you can give certain wrong data or show certain wrong data to the users. Now I will show you how this actually impacts, with Power BI, that if you have such kind of data, what is the actual impact. Now this is sales data, okay, finance data, and we have total sales over here. Okay, if you go in this sales order header, if you go down, you have the total sales subtotal. Okay, I have taken the subtotal. What I have done is that I have created a simple measure, a very simple measure where it takes the sum of the subtotal. Okay, and it will give you the total sales. And that is what I have done. Very clear cut, very simple measure, nothing much in it, sum of the column of total sales, of subtotal. Okay, so and I have made a visual over here. Okay, please don't go into the visualization details. In the very later part of my series, I will show you all the visualizations needed, but let's concentrate on the data first. So this is the total sales over here, and now let's take two slicers. Okay, let's take two slicers over here. Where did my slicer go? Okay, so this is the first slicer. Let me put it here. Let me have one more slicer. In this slicer, I am going to put my ship to address. Okay, ship to address, it comes in between. Okay, no problem, let it be in between. And then I am going to put in the other slicer, my bill to address. Now let me show you with a simple example how your total sales will change if you use the same address ID. Okay, in your ship to address, you have the address ID number 9. Okay, let me see what is the total sales for number 9 address ID. So the number 9 address ID is telling that there is 3k sales which has happened on this address ID. Let's see if the same address ID, what will it give me when I use it with respect to the billing address ID. Okay, let me put number 9. For those of you who are very careful with data, must have understood what the answer will be already. Okay, so the answer is obviously blank, because the number 9 does not exist in the bill to address ID. What this means is that somebody has not inputted the data correctly, or the data that you have got has not does not have the billing address ID for this particular sales that has happened. And this is a major big thing. This is how real life data works. You will not get all the data. Now what happens is that this will create a problem for us, because this tells you that if you use billing address ID to check on the total sales, it will be only true for the billing address ID and not for the ship to address ID. And by chance, in case if you want to remove कि तुमको चाहिए कि मुझे total sales ship to के हिसाब से ही चाहिए, I want it according to this ship to address ID only, then your user relationship will come into picture. Now let's see how user relationship actually works. Now, first of all, let me remove one of the slicers, because to explain user relationship, I will need only the address ID, not the ship to and not the billing address ID. I will need the address ID from the person address table. So I am going to put it in the slicer. This is because there is a relationship between the two, which I explained earlier, and this address ID will be used to choose between the two. Now I am going to actually write the user relationship command as you say. Okay, so let's go and actually create a measure, new measure. Okay, so let's create a new measure. Okay, let's give it a name as the total sales according to the shipping address. Okay, because this total sale is according to the billing address. Okay, and now total sales shipping address, and now we have to use something called as calculate. Now calculate is also another different very beautiful story which I will go do in another video. And okay, but in simple terms I will tell you why we are using calculate over here. Now user relationship in itself doesn't do anything, it is kind of a rule. Okay, user relationship, is a rule कि you need to use this relationship, it is telling Power BI. But all the work of what to do after changing this relationship, क्या होना क्या चाहिए, what should I do with after changing this relationship, that work is done by calculate. And that is what we need. That's why user relationship has to be used inside calculate, because calculate function or is the one command which changes how your filter flows. Okay, how your filter flows inside. Okay, so if you use calculate over here, then inside you have to say that what first you are going to do. Why, what you want to calculate? You want to calculate the total sales. So total sales is nothing but the sum of your subtotal. The sum of your subtotal. Close this. This is done. And now you give your filter, that what exactly, on what basis you want to calculate this sum. So I am telling it that I want to calculate the sum by changing a relationship, and that is when my user relationship will come into picture. User relationship, first your first column name and the second column name. Which relationship are you going to use? You have to specify. So I am going to use the relationship between ship to address ID and your address ID in the person address. This relationship I am going to use. This simple, I am telling that use the shipping address ID. I use the relationship between shipping address ID to address ID to calculate the sum of the subtotal. This is what I am telling Power BI. Okay, and I am going to check it, and now see the magic. Okay, in every video I am showing you all different magic tricks, I think. Okay, so let keep this total sales as it is, don't change it. Let's put another card in below it. And where is our new, let's put this measure inside. On top of it, you see that both of these total sales seem same, exactly same. But now let's use our 9 address ID, which I identified as the difference. Okay, there are many more, but I am showing you this because in continuation to what we discussed just before this. So if I input 9 over here, one card will show me something else and the other card is going to show me something else. And if I press this, you have it. One is blank, other is 3K, because one is taking the address ID from billing address and the other one is taking the address ID from shipping address. So you have actually changed the filter context. You are telling Power BI ki use some different filter and give me this particular sum instead of using the active relationship that is possible. So this is how your user relationship actually works and is very, very important. You have to very carefully look into your data and understand that if it is different or there are multiple relationships present, because such simple things, you will see that this is only 3K difference, but this is finance data, remember. And even a 3K difference in finance data is catastrophic, because 3K can tumble down or tumble up, I would say, and become 3 million. You won't even understand. Your invoices will go crazy. So this is very important. User relationship Remember this, always use it. It is a very, very helpful expression. And in the next video, maybe we will go ahead and do calculate, or I will go to the power query stuff that I was explaining before. Do let me know in the comment section how did you find this video. Thanks a lot. Bye bye and happy learning.